Thanks for tuning in to the Prime Nostalgia, the podcast dedicated to entertainment from childhood. That's 80s, 90s, the latest 2000s. Cause Prime know it all, and Leeboy be wild, and he's from all that. Dropping gems for you to find, so that's orange, the lightest line. Prime time is all the time. We talking about the classics, and there's so many. That's Leeboy TV and PRIME. Ow. Hey, it's me, the Leeboy TV, back with another episode of the PNP. I'm with the original host, the main host, my guy, who the podcast is named after. You know him. You know this guy. It's Prime. What up, Prime?
What's up?
Hey, we need some applause on the on the pod or something, man. But yeah, we got a hell of an episode today. A topic that we have not actually touched on. We're going to be talking about comedy specials, but there's just been so much going on in the news with these dang comedians. I just felt like it was necessary that we talk about, some of the brighter sides of comedy. You know what I'm saying? All this harassment and assaults and deadly weapons and TI, and it's just so much adversity in the comedy scene, man. What's going down?
Yeah, man. It's been a lot of people's elbows getting bent backwards for no reason.
Right, a lot of people bent out of shape. Yeah, all people all bent out of shape, literally. But yeah, and I'm always aspiring to get back in the comedy scene. In fact, I did a show not too long ago where people was chanting. I told y'all they was chanting for me to get up on that stage. So I'm always looking at comedians for inspiration. And this list that we're going to be talking about today, definitely a lot of inspiring acts on there. We're going to be doing our top 5 comedy specials, right? We're going to be playing Higher on My List, as we usually do. So if there is a comedy special that comes up and you have it higher, the other person has it higher on my list, the other person being Prime, is just me and him today, then we'll shout that out and we'll talk about that particular special later on in the episode. But I don't know if you think we're gonna have any overlap today? What do you think?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so. I think we got 2 different styles of comedy that we prefer, so that should make for a great show. But you never know. I mean, there are a bunch of greats out there that could hit both of our lists, and I'm gonna just say I left some of the greats, and it's hard making a top 5 when it comes to comedy specials. A couple people got left off my list that I thought deserved a spot, but this is my list. Don't forget, now this ain't the best. This is just a favorite, right? This is a favorite thing, right?
Yeah, but I think we might have one that overlap. Other than that, I think we're good.
I might have left it off. All right, so you want to go first? Why don't you start us off?
I have Cedric the Entertainer, actually. It's taking you higher.
Yeah, I had a dream that black people started owning horses. Them horses had totally different names. Oh, the announcer had problems, too. He was like, and they're off. Oh, no, you didn't. Moving down the backside. No, you didn't. Shut my screen door. Making a move on the inside. Shut my screen door. Wait a minute. Two different daddies. He's making a move down the way. Oh, hell no. He's coming down the backstretch. Wait a minute. Coming down the backstretch. It's Wish Your Motherfucker Wood. Wish Your Motherfucker Wood down the backstretch. And it's Wish Your Motherfucker Wood by a nose.
It was on HBO. I think it's on HBO Max now, but yeah, it was like one of his HBO specials, and it's a lot of good stuff in there that is funny. I don't know, I like it.
What year did it come out?
I think 04 or 05. I can check.
Yeah, I was definitely heavy on the set and stuff back in the day, so I would have to swing back around to that one. I can't. Any notable jokes come off?
Well, for one, it was like a concert and a comedy special. So like he has a joke about James Brown, and then like a band to come out, and he have 2 dancers come out, and then he'll sing like a drink.
I think I kind of remember. Was that around the time too he had his variety show? Do you remember this show?
What the variety show was like? It wasn't him, but it was him, but it was like different. He was playing characters.
Yeah.
I think so, because he talked about the Malice in the Palace. That was like one of his big jokes, I think.
Okay, dope. And I love Said. In fact, I have him, I ain't
Oh, it
gonna,
came out
yeah.
in 2006. So yeah.
Okay. Dope. All right. Well, that's number 5.
Yeah, to me, because it's just it's you talk about like Serena Williams cheating in tennis and stuff like that. So it's funny.
I mean, Said is funny as hell, especially from the Steve Harvey show. I mean, that's when I really, a lot of people got to know Said through that. That's really his main thing to me. All right, moving along at number 5, a lot of people competing for this number 5 spot, you know what I'm saying? But this is just a guy that I think hit the scene so hot, and it was just so undeniable when he first dropped this first one. It happened in Atlanta. Hair was swinging. Cat Williams, Pink Chronicles 1.
Gotta love white people. I don't give what you say. White people are friendly. You can call them motherfuckers up at 3 o'clock in the morning with the wrong number and they won't even be mad at you. They just, hello? No, I'm sorry, no Shaquita here. Well, what number did you dial? No, it's a 9, not a 7. We'll try it. If it doesn't work, call me back. We'll figure this thing
out. You know what I'm saying? Like, when Cat wins, hey, you'll never forget that green suit he had on with the hair flipped up, and he was just going wild, and he was sweating his dew off. And man, a lot of people got introduced to Cat Williams on that episode or on that special, and he immediately just thrust himself right into like Black popular culture, and he started coming out in all the movies, and he was on Wild 'N Out at the time. But when he first did that special, it was special. Literally, it was special.
I don't even have him on my list. Not that he wasn't considered, but I just don't have him because I have other people that I like better. But he is funny.
What you got at number 4?
Number 4, I got me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Ellen and Philly, Tommy Davis.
It's that Americans spend $1 billion a year on horror movies alone, as if the world ain't scary enough. We gotta invent. We come up with all kind of things in America. Hellraiser, Night of the Living Dead, Child's Play, Chucky, a little damn dog, Chucky. Chucky's back. Movie did so good they made 3 of them. Now, let me tell you, they stopped making the movie if Chucky was black. Oh. Wouldn't want to go see that damn movie, would we? Chucky's back, but he's black. Wouldn't even call it Child's Play. Call it Chucky's in the House.
Because it's just...
Ooh, yeah, he does destroy it in that, yep.
It's for me, it's like cultural, it's impactful, and it's funny, and it's like, even though it's like a 30-minute special, it's still a great special. Like probably one of the best. Probably this and like maybe Elephant in the Room with Patrice O'Neal. This is probably the best, one of the best 30-minute specials ever. So,
yeah, and his impression game, his physical game is just off the charts, So and he showed his butt off literally in that. Well, not literally. Let me say not. Don't be just throwing random literallys in there. Allegedly, let's throw that in there. But he literally did his thing. He did his thing, and it was great to have him on the podcast. If you guys haven't seen that episode, definitely go watch it with Tommy Davidson because it was a hoot. I would say so myself. Moving on to my number 4. Classic comedian right here, one of the best to ever do it. And he just recently got slapped, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Rock, Bring the Pain.
There ain't a white man in this room that would change places with me. None of you. None of you would change places with me, and I'm rich.
None of him is on my list, unfortunately. I'm probably slow to come around because he's, at least to me, his stand-up specials are probably not in my range. So I probably need to watch them again.
Yeah, I mean, I like all of his specials. I think they're all pretty good. Actually, they're all excellent. I don't think there's no question about like his talent, his skill, I would say. There's no question about his skill. he's one of the best to pick up that mic and be able to talk for over an hour, hour and a half, have a whole, it's like a diatribe. It's like a whole, it's like a sermon. He's coming out with something to say. He's going to convey the message, and he does really well at that. But I think in this one, in particular, he's just so confrontational with the audience, with ideas that are in, confrontation with the audience. Did you laugh? like Will, like, no, let's not bring up Will Smith every time.
Can't wait to see it.
But he's bringing up, there's Negroes and there's Black people, right? He has that thing. It can't go nowhere because Negroes. All right, moving forward, number 3.
Number 3. Oh, I got. Let me see. All right, let me see if you know what this is from. All right.
Cutie pie.
Yes.
You're the reason why. Wait, is this Kings of Comedy?
Shoot.
Is this Kings of Comedy?
At 40 people, one mic. Yeah, it's Kings.
It is Kings of Comedy. Okay, actually, hey, higher on my
okay.
Right on my list. Actually, I'm at number 3 with Kings of Comedy.
Okay,
right there. So,
you been to a rap concert? Too many goddamn instructions. Everybody got to do something. Everybody pump it up, pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. Everybody stand up, put your hands in the air, wave like you just don't care. Everybody say, ho, ho, pump it up, ho, somebody scream. Motherfucker, for what? I paid $38.50. God damn it, you scream.
You know what? This is one that I didn't get to watch over, and I wanted to get back into it because this is just it's just one of the best comedy moments of all time. Yeah, man. When you talk about this, now who's your favorite set? Do you have a favorite set out of these? Because there are classic moments literally from each one of these guys. You got D.L. Hughley, you got Bernie Mac, you got Ced the Entertainer. And I was going to say earlier when you said Ced, I got him on my list, but I didn't want to give it away. But I did have him on my list in Kings of Comedy. And then, of course, Steve Harvey actually has a bunch of dope moments all throughout. He has basically 4 10-minute sets. But do you have a favorite?
I mean, I personally would say, I don't know if I would say Bernie. Like, I like his the best, but like, it seems like his is short unless he just know how to make it seem like it's a short time. Because it seemed like it was like 10 minutes when like everybody else, like DL seemed like his was like 30 minutes. So I don't know. But I mean, I'm gonna say Ced because I just his stuff.
Ced must be.
He did the dance. He was like,
yeah,
he did all that.
Oh, yeah, he did the freeze.
Yeah, they edited him doing the. I'm like, how did
I forgot about that? What was he talking about when he did that slow?
I think he was talking about a dance battle. Dance.
Yeah.
Dance moves.
Oh, people, because they shoot now, but now back in the day used to be doom 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 doom. I don't even know what they said. I just remember the exact.
I mean, also we got the guy that left his coat in the front row. He was like, "Where y'all going?"
Oh,
he took
yeah.
His coat.
Wait, who told him that? That was Steve, right?
Yeah,
that was Steve. Yeah, that was a great moment. His coat was gone when he got back. Obviously, one of the biggest moments is the milk and cookie. The milk and cookie. I mean, everything that Bernie Mac did in that show was just iconic. He was last because he was the funniest. I mean, he had the fun. I would say the biggest moments. And rest in peace, obviously, to Bernie Mac. If you want to see me do an impression, from doing the most comedy, go check me out on Leeboy TV. It's somewhere on my YouTube channel. Also on Doing the Most Comedy. I'm sure it's on their YouTube channel as well. But I do have a 10-minute little clip. You can see that Bernie Mac impression from the beginning. And I wasn't expecting to do it, but they just threw out his name as improv situation. So always paying tribute to the man. It's not enough to be said. not enough to be said. But we got to move on to number 2, and it's back to you because we had the same number 3, sir. So, what you got?
Mine is Raw.
You cannot say filth, filth in front of people.
And I never said no filth, filth.
Because you know what I'm talking about. I can't use the type of language that you use, but you know what I mean when I say filth, flying, filth.
And I never said no filth, filth, and I don't know what you're talking about. I'm offended that you called you. I was so mad, I called Richard Pryor's house up and said, yo, Richard, Bill Cosby just called me up and told me I was too dirty. He said, well, tell Bill, I said, have a Coke and a smile and shut the
because it's my favorite one out of the 2. Obviously, the other one is funny, but this one is probably maybe funnier to me. The suit is funny. I'm talking about Mike, Mr. T. It's funny. If Mike was a gangster or something, he said that joke is funny.
But if Mike was a gangster joke in that one in Raw.
Yeah, because he talked about him in the first movie. In the first one, and then he was like, "Yo, they said Michael Jackson was looking for me." I was like, "So?" And then he was like, "What if Mike is actually bad behind the scenes?" So he just did that.
So Raw over Delirious, Sam.
In my opinion, yes. Even though the first one is funny, obviously, but keep it moving.
Keep it moving at number 2. I don't know. This could have easily been my number 1. I think this is one of the comedy specials that I've watched the most coming up as a kid. Didn't even, this is one I did not have to watch and do any research on. Didn't even need no kind of reminders because it just sticks to the head like that. One of the most talented comedian, one of the most talented actors, one of the most talented people to ever grace a Hollywood scene. Jamie Foxx, I Might Need Security.
Oh.
One of my favorites.
Okay.
This mother is after me. So hold on, where you going? Where you going? No, wait, look, Jamie, come on. I heard you talking shit. I heard your jokes. Because you don't want Mike Tyson after you. He was scared the hardest dude, he'll scare him. If Mike came in here right now, you'd be scared. It'd be like a pit bull walking in here, but don't nobody know who the owner is. Hey, dog, is that your pit?
He does not play around when it comes to that. He can come up with great things off the top of the dome. And, he incorporates the musical element as well. And his impressions, though. His impressions is what takes him to another level because he has great comedic timing, great physical comedy. Like one of the great moments is he's talking about the club punch, right? Like, you got to have could I say habitualism with it? You can blank me out. You got to say something like, yes, you don't know who you messing with. Just as soon as you make contact, you out the club and he's doing all this dance and how you shimmy through the club. Does a great Mike Tyson, as he always does, right? But he tells a story about Mike Tyson being mad at him doing the impression. So it just takes it to another level because it's a real story. He has the whole J-Lo, hey ho, like he's telling a lot of the real stories. And then lastly, his Mike impression. I actually talked about this on the podcast before, but Mike can't get the gum off his shoes. He can't get started, can't get off the block. He can't quite. And then Mike think he a gangster, and that's why it actually caught my ear when you said that Eddie Murphy did that before, because he's talking about Mike. Well, if you don't come out here with all that shimmy, like you will get your butt whooped doing all that fake gangster stuff around here, Mike, that you be doing in the video, shaking your head.
We're gonna go to break. I personally am gonna play that what is it, Africa? I'm gonna play Africa Bambaataa because we doing the Cedric earlier.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we are back. It's the Prime Nostalgia Podcast, aka the PNP. I am LEEBOYTV here with Prime. I act like we had to do the whole intro like this is the beginning. No, you guys just came back from the break, and you guys just heard what we little said.
African Bambaataa.
Yeah, said yeah, definitely watch that Kings of Comedy. If you haven't, check out Cedric the Entertainer set on that. But before we get through our number one, we have to um expose those for the podcast. Let's go through some of our honorable mentions. Because there is just so many that we could have named in our top five, and we ain't gonna talk about all of them because we gotta have some content for later. But some of the specials that you would want people to know to go out there and check out tonight.
Yeah, so obviously I had a lot in mind, and I kind of, if we're gonna do a part two, we might not. I saved them for part two. So these honorable mentions are just, maybe lower ones. I have Elephant in the Room, Patrice O'Neal. It's funny. That's like Tommy Davidson's like 30-minute. And then, which this is probably one of my favorites just because it relates to me because I was in the band, is Ricky Smiley Open Casket Shark. It's the one he's talking about the marching band and stuff.
I forgot about Ricky Smiley, man. Yeah,
I ain't never just that's the only comedy special I've seen. If you got more, I don't know, but that's the one.
I definitely would encourage everyone to check out Andrew Schultz. He's probably my favorite comedian in current times right now, or at least an upcoming comedian. Check out his crowd work special on YouTube. Definitely,
man. Forget all that. Check out his monologue for that Will for the Oscars.
Oh yeah. I mean, he does that every podcast. He does that every podcast. But yeah, his monologue, Killing Will, yeah, he destroyed Will Smith. So yeah, definitely check that out. You just need a quick little introduction. And then if you like that, go check out Andrew Schultz Saves America. It's on Netflix. And it's the same thing that he does in his intros to his podcast, but for 30 minutes. And it's really good, actually. It's one of the best. It's a different form of comedy that you probably haven't seen. So yeah, definitely check out that on Netflix.
Okay. So what's your?
I want to say mine first because I already said we had a giant in the room, elephant in the room. You said it twice already, but mine was Patrice.
Why you didn't say nothing?
Because it's just ironic. It's all right. It doesn't matter because it just kind of shows how great he is. But maybe he doesn't get the type of recognition that he deserves. So I think it actually tells a story throughout our podcast here is that he's mentioned twice. Maybe, he might not technically should make your top five, but I'll say that he has one of my favorite minds as a comedian. And so just you got to come up with one of his specials. Elephant in the Room is his most heralded special. Although I like most of his jokes, or he just keeps it so raw that it's uncomfortable. Yeah, that would be the other things. So he picks your life apart and he makes you uncomfortable, but he makes you laugh in the throughout the process. So it's very palatable.
So my number one. This is one of my favorite when I first seen this, and even now I still get laughs and chuckles off of it. This is Killing Them Softly.
Hey, yes, sir.
Yeah, I was heavily debating if I should put Sticks and Stones in my honorables. I was like, I'm gonna wait, and so this is Killing Them Softly. This is for me. That was it's a lot. It's a lot in there, man. It's a lot of jokes. Some good and some bad. Well, that's what you do. These came out a long time ago, but he starts out high and he never lets go, and that's what I like. So, shout out to Dave.
Dave, one of the best ever to do it. I mean, definitely the leading voice in comedy right now for sure. I don't think there's any question about that. And yeah, I actually was gonna, pull off one of my little cheats. I had Killing Them Softly and also Sticks and Stones right next to each other at like number 4 or 5.
I did have Sticks and Stones at 5, but I was like, I'm gonna just save that for if we do another one. So
yeah, and I felt the same. Like I actually just kept him off my list because I will say, I respect Dave to the utmost. He's one of the best, one of the best minds. I just don't think he always is concerned with just killing them with laughter. Not always. He has a different style of comedy which I do like. It's very thought provoking, but maybe not always my favorite. I think just like Jordan. Jordan is not my favorite player. I love LeBron, Magic, Shaq. Those are my guys. That's my preference. But I always respect Jordan as the best. And that's how I would consider Dave. He might not be my favorite stand-up. I think similar to Eddie, I like him maybe more in movies, maybe more on TV. I love him in Chappelle's Show. But his stand-up is definitely elite, especially his new style. There you go. That was our top 5. Let us know what you think. I had a fun looking at this list, but it was also very difficult to, narrow it down to 5. I'm also a person that just loves skits and bits. I mean, there's so many to check out on YouTube, and so it's hard to really pin down a whole special that are great. So hopefully you guys like our list. I'm telling you, but if you want to see someone just firing off, go watch that Chris Rock Bring the Pain, because he brought it. He brought it for sure. So shout out to him. Shout out to everyone on the list, all the comedians of the world. And, one day, hopefully I'll be part of the community. And I'm gonna get off my behind. I'm gonna get back on that stage. I'm gonna stop playing. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's a lot out there. Make sure you check them out. Even if you go on like HBO Max, there's a lot on there. There's a lot on Netflix. So you can find any. You can find
all the old stuff's on YouTube too.
Yeah.
All the old stuff.
It's underrated. Not underrated. Well, there's people like that we haven't even mentioned, like John Mulaney,
Ralph.
Who else?
That we remember Ralphie May, the big dude.
Ralphie May.
He was
Fluffy. Gabriel Iglesias. Yeah. So there's a lot of people. That
Dick Gregory or Paul Mooney. Oh, I love Red Paul Fox. Mooney stuff. He's crazy. Sinbad has some stuff out there. He was, another person that I enjoyed more in movies, but his stand-up is great too. We didn't even say Richard Pryor, man. Come on.
I mean, I had him on my thing. I can save that one. That's what he had on the all red.
Oh yeah, but we just got to make sure we just start, and we don't just say the name at least. Richard Pryor, Jack. But yeah, so many comedians that are worth mentioning. So you guys definitely get into the comments. Hit us on Twitter. We'll probably have a poll for this on Instagram. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your favorite specials. You can find me at LeeboyTV.com, at LeeboyTV on all socials, including YouTube. Don't forget to check out my Bernie Mac impression on the Doing the Most Improv Show. Prime, tell the people where to find you.
KBNG Prime Time, Prime Nostalgia Pod. Check that out. 80s, 90s, 2005. Check that out. I actually just did a thing. I compared Kenan and Kel to Malcolm and Eddie, the TV show.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm like, is that the adult Kenan and Kel? I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, go check that out. Next week though, you want to give them a hint?
Next week, all I'm saying is we're gonna be popping, locking. It's gonna be hot, really, really hot. It's gonna be what else are we killing them? What else is another clue?
We're gonna work it.
We're gonna be working. We're gonna work it. No, don't give them all that too much. Check in, tune in next week. It's gonna get really hot. All right.
All right. From Leeboy, from me, Prime Time is on the time.
All the time. We out. Thanks for tuning in to the Prime Nostalgia, the podcast dedicated to entertainment from childhood. That's 80s, 90s, the latest 2000s. Cause Prime know it all, and Leeboy be wild, and he's from all that. Dropping gems for you to find, so that's orange, the lightest line. Prime Time is all the time. We talking about the classics, and there's so many. That's Leeboy TV and PRIME. Ow.